Sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Hey everyone, welcome to SCOART Glass. This is the second SG Live or Stained Glass Live episode. Today we're going to continue on with the Mount Fuji project, and I just want to thank everybody for joining today. And if you're catching this on the replay, be sure to hit replay in the comment section below. If you find the information helpful and you want to support the channel, you can go to the Buy Me a Coffee and buy me a coffee, help the channel out so that we can continue to bring videos and keep creating and making new stained glass projects so that we can get it out to everybody and share what we're making. Also, we do have merchandise available. As you can see behind me, we have some shirts, the Discover, Learn, and then also there's a Create shirt. You can go to SCOARTGLASS.com, scroll to the bottom of the front page, and check out the shirts and click on one of those as well. For today, again, we're going to continue on the Mount Fuji project, and I've got a bunch of glass on the table. That's why you kind of see me looking down. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to hit anything wrongly and break a piece of glass, because last week after I was removing my board out, a piece got stuck up underneath, and as I moved it off to the side, it dropped onto the concrete and cracked. So I'll show you that piece here in a moment. And I did have, some distant shots from the grinder last week. Well, I've got a camera mounted over the grinder today, so then that way you can actually see the grinding that's going on these pieces as well. So a couple of screens that I'm going to be using, kind of going back and forth, and probably sitting on one of the screens where it's a dual screen, kind of so that way you can keep an eye out on what I'm doing at both stations. So here's the one of the screens that we're going to be using quite a bit, and then also this other screen right here we'll be using quite a bit. So these are the two screens we'll kind of stay with and go back and forth on, so that way you can kind of keep an eye on everything that's going on as I move back and forth through the studio. So now first we're going to do some, take our black marker, and we got to get some areas here that need to have some areas here where some of the glass needs to be removed. So I'm going to make my black marks all up along here on a couple of these pieces, and then I'll head over to the grinder. And I think I'll put on a little music in the background for us. All right, now we got these pieces marked, and we will go ahead and head over to the grinder.
No fui el primero, ni seré el último, pero sé que lo gozaré. Para serte sincero, un Dios el que te enseñó lo que puedes hacer con mi piel. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. Baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. Solo yo sé desayunar, solo tú comes el pastel. Con estilo siempre te vas, pero te vienes con placer. Me dijiste no quiero nada, pero quieres todo, mujer. Baby, yo te hago soñar algo más rico que la miel, mi droga que te legalicen. No digamos el pecado, que hay cosas que no se dicen. Y en la piel tú y yo jugando, baby, ¿para qué te dices? Y tú solo dices que quieres más, que matemos la curiosidad. Eso hacemos, baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. Baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. Yeah, aquí viviendo roce, estamos solitos, ya son más de las 12. Pegándote bien lento, baby, para que tú goces. No somos algo serio, pero bien si me conoces. Ya, tú eres el antojo de mi vida. De tanto que te pienso ya no encuentro la salida. Pero no somos nada, girl. Pero no somos nada, girl. Ya, mi droga que te legalice. No digamos el pecado, que hay cosas que no se dicen. Y en la piel tú y yo jugando, baby, ¿para qué te dices? Y tú solo dices que quieres más, que matemos la curiosidad. Eso hacemos, baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. Baby, si se nos da, yeah, será lo que será, yeah, los dos vamos a matar, yeah, toda esa curiosidad. No fui el primero, ni seré el último, pero sé que lo gozaré. Para serte sincero.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, we are now Gonna make sure we dry off our pieces really well. And then we'll get it set into place and double check the fitting of everything. So these pieces are all the clouds that are kind of rolling in, different shades, different colors, because it is kind of in the early springtime, still kind of gloomy, but at times, but the clouds still coming in, and then all these pieces kind of fit together pretty well. And we will actually get into the cherry blossoms here soon, but I do want to try and get all these cloud pieces in place. So this one's still going to have a little bit left to grind off. This one's going to be like. Yeah, so I'll probably have quite a bit to grind off of this one. Hello, Mr. Andrew Chung, and it does look good that you do have a wrench by your name, sir, so you are good to go. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right, we're going to go back over and we are going to do some more grinding. Again, we're back to dry off our pieces. Hello, Marcella. Thank you for joining us. Had a little bumpy start in the beginning, a little technical difficulty. Can you give me a thumbs up if the volume is okay? Can you hear me pretty good? More punctual than last time. Well, I do appreciate you joining us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. I'll try and answer what I can. So now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of foiling here.
Doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what?
I'm going to bring up my foil machine, but I'm going to pull these pieces out. That way I can put some cardboard down. I don't want to foil directly on the machine, on the glass, but I want to be able to bring everything into play here for you. And maybe I'll go to a different view here. A little bit better view, I believe. So when I foil, I use this foil machine. I'm using 7/32 black backed copper foil, and this machine has been a saver for me and for my hands. So I like using it whenever I can, especially on these bigger pieces. And I just run along my seam, along the edge I should say. And it centers it up pretty well for me. The only thing with this machine is that when you get to deep inside curves, you got to be a little bit careful. If they're too deep, you won't be able to use it, so you'll have to cut it at that point and then Then foil the inside curve by hand. I'm taking a little bit slow right now is because this cardboard wants to slide. So normally I'll go a little bit faster. So then I take my burnish tool and I get all my edges first. You want to flatten out all your edges very well. Make that good contact with the glass. Now this piece is going to go hang in my living room, and I'm going to put a zinc frame on it, but then I'm going to actually set it inside of a wood frame. Haven't decided what color yet, but it might be a black frame. Had a little tear right there. Keep a little spare I had a tear in my foil here, so I need to repair it. A little too much on this side, so I need my razor knife. And then you can, when you have an overlap or little, what they call a tag, you can use your razor knife to kind of even everything out so it doesn't look so bad at the end. Okay, get that out of there. All right, we'll put that one back in here in a second. We'll go ahead and do another piece here. So, what is the biggest project you have tackled in stained glass? I'll throw that out there. This one by far is my largest one.
Trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, 'cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Yeah.
And each side gets a good burnish. I am going to do a black patina on the solder lines for this. I thought about copper, but I decided not to. I think it'd be with the amount of solder lines, I think it'd be too much copper. So this one's got some inside curves on it. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and see how far I can get. It's at the tip end over here is where I'm a little concerned. And coming around here, I might be able to get most of it. Yeah, so I'll have to come in and get the and hand foil that inside piece. So as you can see, this is the downfall of a foiler like this, is you can't, see if I can hold that up there to you. You can see the gap that's right there, and it won't get all the way in because it's too deep. So what I did is I broke it, and then you'll see that I had to break it, and then now I'm gonna go back and hand foil that area right there. And you just got to kind of heat it up and rub it and get it foiled over good. And then now we can go back through and get that burnished down well. Now my edges. No, the foiling machine actually you can buy online through, I actually got mine through Amazon. I can put an affiliate link down in the description if you're interested in getting one. It does come in handy if you have a lot of pieces to foil. I really do like it. All right, nope, I'm gonna need a little bit more foil here. It's a little bit thin around that end. I don't like it, so I'm going to add a little bit here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Looks like there's some unevenness in the glass at this end, so seemed like it was a little bit thicker. The foil didn't make it all the way around. That's the thing with some of the glass. Sometimes when they make these mixes, it may not come out exactly level or even, so you may get some variation in thickness at times. Okay, now for this piece, I can still use my foil machine, but what I'll do is I will actually start here and then I'll make it around. I think I can make this with no problem, and then when I get to here, instead of trying to go in, I will just take enough off to where I can finish it up by hand to make this inside curve. Well, I thought I was going to be able to make it inside there, but that itself is still too deep, so I'll just pull enough off to make my overlap, and then I'll just pick up and finish foiling by hand. Okay. Again, you want to heat up your foil by just rubbing your hand or your finger in there. Make it a little bit more pliable, and then you can make it around without splitting your foil. Same thing on this side. Okay, now we can get that all burnished down. So I think what I'll do before the next live is I'll try and get a little bit further along on the foiling pieces, so that way we can get into cutting some of the cherry blossoms and kind of tell you how I'm going to do that, because I am going to use an overlay technique on those. Since this is an art piece, you won't really be seeing the backside, so instead of having 5 to 6 pieces for every one of the blossom leaves, you can use an overlay technique to get the same effect. So let's go ahead and get these fitted in. Kind of see where we're at. So we have number 30 here. There we go. Number 27 fitted in there nicely. Number 41. There we go. And number 38. Now we've got a few pieces here that we can work on. So I'm going to do, looks like number 20 is going to be okay the way it is. So I'm going to actually do some hand foiling. Try and center it up the best I can. Work my way around. what I try and do when I come back around, I try and take the flap that's already there and kind of pull it out, and then I try to align the overlap with that. So then that way you kind of ensure, in a sense, that you've lined it up and you won't produce a tag. Now, it doesn't always work, but for the most part, it usually does. Ideally, I better go over here. I don't want to do it on the glass. That wouldn't be a good thing. That'll be number 20 over here. I do got to do some grinding on number 31 here. These two around it are actually branches that I have not cut yet. So I'm going to try and do actually I think I'm going to hold off on that one, because ideally, like I said last week, I want to build it up. So we've got some other glass pieces. So I'm going to kind of show you what I've done. So these cherry blossoms have different colors. I wanted to get a variation of them. So I've got them all drawn out. So I've got some lighter colors here. To where I've got it all drawn out. This particular piece has 100 and I think 189 pieces, I believe. Roughly 189, I believe. So a lot of pieces. So these are the two colors of the blossoms. So you can see we're going to have quite a few coming across. We have a big cluster here, another cluster up here, another cluster here, and then more clusters here. So let's just kind of get it into perspective here a little bit. And we'll try and place some pieces, just kind of shape it up a little bit so you can kind of hopefully get an idea or a picture of what it's going to look like. So we'll try and get some pieces put back in place here. You'll get an idea where all the clusters are. And where the piece is actually going to end. Some of these were pretty hard cuts. Like this cut right here was pretty hard, just for the fact it was so deep. So I actually had to do quite a bit of grinding into there. Gotta see where all these different pieces go. I've shifted everything around here, so
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it.
it's like putting a big old puzzle together.
I wanna see it, see how. Rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how. Got this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say let's convey. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good, good. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than
Seems like everything got shifted over that way so much.
make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how. Got this sweet talk.
Marcella, have you done any large pieces, or are you still just starting out? Be interested to know. Well, if I were to work on this project continuously, it would probably take a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But because I only work on it in bits and pieces, and I put all commissions and other activity ahead of it, it's been over a year, or coming up on a year. It's been sitting on this table, so I've always just put a bunch of stuff over it, protect it, and then still work on it.
Twisting top up at the pop up, tear the block up with my single. Yeah, yo, chick, she wanna dip, she see the drip, she wanna mingle. Take them trips and make them flips. I stack my chips up like a Pringle. I be preaching.
That may be a recut. May need to recut this one. That one's not fitting in there right. Okay, that may be a recut.
Do it bigger than my foes. All them I just bought a couple O's.
Oh, great! Congratulations. What did you make?
Neighbors staring at me, they think something ain't no catch, young, getting money now. All that they used to bother me be funny now. I'm about to cop another pendant with my last bet. How you got all them opinions with no assets? But it's cool, I guess I can be the bad guy. Cause they eating top ramen and not pad thai. I gives no f- I need my bucks, I
Butterfly. Awesome. That is actually going to be one of the patterns for the Zoom class I'm going to be offering here soon. To do glass together via either be Skype or Zoom, and we'll be able to ask questions actually over voice versus just through a chat, and I can help out and give pointers and all those type things while you're sitting there making it. Ooh, I bet you that howling wolf was pretty cool. Well, it looks like I got a lot of the white ones in. Now I need to go back and do the old scan of where these other pieces are at. There we go. I hope you can start to see how this is going to start coming together a little bit. And why I'm going to do an overlay on the petals. Right. So now you can start seeing some of the pockets of where these cherry blossoms are going to overlap and be. So with that, you know, doing the overlay is going to be a lot easier in those areas. Well, I think this will probably be a good stopping point at this point in time. I do appreciate everybody coming in, and if you're on the replay, I appreciate you tuning in to the replay. And if you have any questions, ensure to leave them in the comment section. I'll put a link to the foiler in the description. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee and support the channel in that manner. We do have merchandise available at SCOARTGLASS.com. So I was trying to switch screens. You can see the shirts that are in the back. We have Discover, Learn, and Create in those shirts. And again, you can find those on SCOARTGLASS.com as well. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And hopefully, as we continue doing these streams, the technical difficulties will go away and we will have a lot smoother streams. So with that, thank you very much and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Ensure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.